Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night Ignition. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined as always by the man who puts the eccentric in eccentric force. It's Captain Tibbs.
Thank you, Sills. I didn't think I was that eccentric, but I'll take it.
Well, Tibbs, we are, of course, only a few days away from our next great JWF pay-per-view, Eccentric Force, and we know we got some great matches happening over there. I mean, we are going to have the man known as the JWF champion, your son Chuck Tibbs, taking on Scottye Moore in an epic 2 out of 3 falls, no disqualification match. And Tibbs, let's be honest, that is going to be an absolute barnstormer between those two.
Completely agree, Sills. We get to see what Chuck Tibbs, what my son can do when he decides to go all out.
That's right. In addition to that, we are going to see the War Wizards face off against the Blockbusters in a ladder war for the JWF Tag Team Championships. And let me tell you something, the Blockbusters, they are devastating in that ring. But if you want to talk about men who know ladders and know war, it's got to be our tag champs, the men known as the War Wizard.
Bold move on the War Wizards to bring back a ladder war, just to show how dominant they can be in the ring against the Blockbusters, who they've had a contentious history with, to say the least.
That's right, and speaking of a contentious history, let's talk about the man known as the god of the JWF himself, Mamoa Curry, a man who has had struggle after struggle with the man known as the King of Flavortown, Guy Fieri. I mean, last week, Guy Fieri did the one thing you never do in professional wrestling. You bring family into it. And Guy Fieri brought Mamoa Curry's family into their epic rivalry when he decided to go after Mamoa's daughter, Valkyrie, down at the JXT Performance Center. And Tibbs, it was an absolutely horrifying thing to see.
I just couldn't imagine what was going through Mamoa Curry's mind. Actually, I've been through that before, and I can tell you, Sills, that it is just abhorrent to watch as your child is assaulted in a way like what Guy Fieri did to Valkyrie.
That is right, sending her through the glass pane of a car window, and unfortunately, Valkyrie's still not cleared for competition. And you know that is itching in Momoa's craw, which is why the god of the JWF has come to our ring. And I think he has a message for the King of Flavortown. Let's have a listen. Guy Fieri, I know you're not here tonight. I know you're off somewhere, staying as far away from me as you can, and that's a wise move. I'll give you that, but you can't run forever. What you did last week, laying hands on my daughter, has purchased you a ride down the river Styx into the flaming maw of Hades himself. In one crystalline moment, Guy Fieri, you defined the type of man you are. A coward that would grab an innocent girl and throw her through glass and metal just to get some sort of rise out of her father. And to that, I say mission accomplished. You certainly have my attention, and this Sunday you will have destruction brought down upon your head, because I've already talked to Captain Tibbs, and the match is made, Fieri. Nautical rules. No time limit, no rules, falls count anywhere. And if you don't show up, if you continue ducking me, as you've done in the past few weeks, I have it on good faith that your position in the JWF will be terminated. But that certainly won't be an issue, will it, Guy Fieri? You see, last week you submitted the type of man you are here in the JWF, and this Sunday I submit who I am. Because in this new JWF, over the past few months, I've been wondering that exact same question. I've been wondering who I am. What's my place supposed to be in this company now? And last week you showed me exactly who I am, Guy Fieri. I am Mamoa Curry, the retribution of the sinner and salvation of the saint. I am the fire and brimstone that leveled the city of Gomorrah. I am the hailstone of destruction that befell the city of Egypt. I am the sword of Camiel himself, sent to strike down the forces of men with darkness in their hearts. I am the Alpha and the Omega of this company, the judge, jury, and executioner, and this Sunday I will deal out your execution notice, Guy Fieri. Because this Sunday, you're not stepping into the ring with a man. You're stepping into the ring with the God of Law, God of the Sea, and the God of the JWF, Mamoa Curry. Well, Tibbs, I gotta say, I think Guy Fieri's a little damned if he does, damned if he doesn't right now. What do you think? Because if he don't show up this Sunday, he ain't gonna have a career. But at the end of the day, I think if he does show up, he ain't gonna have a life. Mamoa Curry sounds pissed off and ready to cause some hell this Sunday at Eccentric Force.
Now, Stills, I think that we're just in a position that Guy Fieri is damned, if I were to say so. Mamoa Curry doesn't normally bring out his credentials like that unless he is planning a righteous fury. That may almost be as destructive as what his brother wanted to do. I just want to throw that out there. We might be boned too.
That is right, Tibbs. It may be very well the end of the world when Mamoa Curry steps into that ring against Guy Fieri, but not until we see a ladder war. Not until we see the Blockbusters, led by their manager, Lawrence Whitney, taking on Jeramis and the War Wizard, the JWF Tag Team Champions. And let's be honest, we've seen the War Wizards go to war in knockout matches, where the only way to defeat your opponent is by knocking them the hell out. We've seen them go to war in ladder matches in the past. I mean, those two men seem poised and ready for success this Sunday, but there's one man who I know is going to be disagreeing, and that's got to be the manager of the Blockbusters, Lawrence Whitney. What do you think?
I don't know what Lawrence could expect going up against the War Wizards at their full strength like this. It's like you said, Sills, all they know right now and how they defend their championships and how they fight is war. They are on a path of total destruction, and they are burning everything down that they see before them, and I don't know if the Blockbusters know what they're up against.
That's right, it's going to be an absolute horror show this Sunday at Eccentric Force, but there's one person we have not heard from ever since this declaration of a ladder war, and that is, of course, Lawrence Whitney himself, which is why we have sent one of our top interviewers backstage to have a word with Lawrence. Let's have a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan McDonald backstage here with the men who are set to take on the War Wizards this Sunday for their JWF Tag Team Championships, the Blockbusters, and of course, their manager, Lawrence Whitney. Now, Lawrence, last week the War Wizards very much upped the ante of this match, deciding that the stipulation would be a ladder war, the first in the history of the JWF. I gotta know, how do you respond to this decision?
I'm sorry, I have to laugh. I mean, because honestly, what in the world were those two idiots smoking last week? I mean, do I need to remind you of just a few short weeks ago when my boy here, the Bone Crusher, lived up to his name and crushed Jeramis's fingers in the steel steps? Do I need to remind you of the numerous assaults that the Titan has placed upon them with a metal chair? Do I need to show you the sheer carnage and destruction that these two men can cause in a normal wrestling match? Because it seems to me that the War Wizards, why, they've forgotten exactly who they're facing this Sunday. They're facing the most terrifying team to ever step foot in a JWF professional wrestling ring. I mean, for God's sakes, their names are Titan and Bone Crusher. You should know what you're signing up for when these two step between those ropes, and yet those two dumbasses decided, ooh, let's give them weapons. Let's give them steel chairs. Let's give them wooden tables. Ooh, and how about a big fucking ladder that we can knock out both of you with? You see, this is where the hubris of the War Wizards finally catches up to them. You see, they think they're unstoppable. They think they can do anything, but unfortunately, that's all the thinking that they've done. Because only an imbecile would put twisted steel in the hands of a man known as the Titan. Only a fool would put a table before a man known as the Bone Crusher. And only an idiot would put a ladder in the ring with the Blockbusters. So this Sunday, say goodbye to the War Wizards and say hello to your brand new JWF Tag Team Champions, the Blockbusters. Well, Tibbs, strong words there from Lawrence Whitney, and you gotta think he is right in many ways. Titan and Bone Crusher, two absolute beasts in that professional wrestling ring. I mean, at the end of the day, they did break the fingers of Jeremis. They have caused carnage in that ring, and that's when the weapons weren't provided to them.
It is certainly an air of confidence that old Lawrence Whitney has tonight. And like you said, Sills, it's not unfounded. Titan and Bone Crusher are definitely two sights to behold in the ring. I mean, Bone Crusher literally crushes the bones of his opponents. And the Titan is an indomitable force. But something that the War Wizards have shown they can combat. It's just gonna be down to the whims of fate.
That is right. And speaking of Titan, let's talk about the Titan last week. He went to face our JWF Captain's Champion, the Dylan. And of course, one of the Dylan's many open challenges. And let's be honest, the Titan looked poised and ready numerous times to actually take that title off of the Dylan, rip it away from his waist. And it wasn't until the War Wizard showed up that the Dylan seemed to get a clear advantage.
Of course, the Titan did come down to the ring with his full team. Lawrence Whitney, Bone Crusher, they were right there. And once the equalizing factor of the War Wizards came in, well, let's just say, when all things are equal, the Dylan is victorious.
That is right. And actually, you can see Dylan in the ring right now. Looks like he's about to issue another one of those open challenges. And oh God, Tibbs, the music's playing. We know who it is. That's the music of Rat Boy Connor. What in the world's the Rat Boy thinking?
Well, Sills, if his current state of mind is anything to be said, he's probably coming out here to challenge, so we might be free for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can see almost a smirk growing on the face of the Dylan, but Connor's grabbed him a microphone, and I think he has the words for the Captain's Champ. Let's have a listen.
Whoa, 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 baby! We all know what's about to happen right now, right? This tall, bland, white breadstick of a human being is about to come on and say, ooh, I'm the technical spectacle. I want to be a real wrestler. I'm the Dylan. Challenge is open. Doopa doopa doopa. And then some poor schmuck is going to come out and get a tapped out. It's the same thing every single week, and to be honest with you, the Rat Boy is getting tired of it. Which is why the Rat Boy is coming out and doing what he always does, fix the problem. And I'ma fix it by taking the Captain's Championship away from you, Dylan. Because you see, Dylan, you're a great wrestler, you really are. But you're not a star. You're not someone people want to see on their TV screens. You're not Rat Boy Connor. So why don't you all do us a favor and give me that title while you still can? Well, Tibbs, you were right. Rat Boy Connor is answering the open challenge, and you can see Shibata holding the belt to the sky. Bell going ding, and oh my God! Dylan with a big boot straight to the face, and he has immediately wrapped up Connor in the Anaconda Vice. He has the Rat Boy in the Vice, and Connor is tapping. That might be one of the fastest title matches we've ever seen in this company's history. My God!
I'm sorry, what just happened? I had to look away for a second.
And look at this, Dylan holding on to the vice, letting Connor know that he means business. Finally, Shibata being forced to pry him apart, but you see Dylan almost disappointed. I mean, we've seen in the past, Dylan comes out to that ring expecting a fight. And I know for a fact he certainly wasn't expecting the Rat Boy to come out. What do you think?
No, it's like Connor just couldn't see the forest for the trees. He came out, he ran his mouth for a little bit too much, and then he just wasn't up there. He just wasn't ready to take, he wasn't in the mental space to take on the technical spectacle, the Dylan.
That is right, Tibbs, and it looks like the Dylan has grabbed a microphone. So let's hear what the Captain's Champion has to say.
So, this is what my open challenge has come to, eh? The goddamn Rat Boy coming down here, running his mouth before I tap him out like a little bitch. I beat Okada. I deserve better. Look at me, Tibbs. I beat your own goddamn son. I deserve better. That's why, look at me, you old man. That is why, at excessive force, you are going to find me better. You are going to find me someone worthy of wrestling the best wrestler in the world for the only belt that matters in wrestling. You're going to start doing that. You're going to start planning. I don't care how much it costs. You're going to do it, or else I'm going to start taking limbs as trophy. This won't be an open challenge anymore. It'll be a public slaughter.
Well, Tibbs, look at this. Looks like we have one more match added to the pay-per-view, added to Eccentric Force. The Dylan issuing an open challenge, and he said it. He is expecting a fight this Sunday, but who knows who's going to come out. Let's think about the last open challenge he issued at a pay-per-view. Kazuchika Okada, famously of New Japan Pro Wrestling, came out and challenged him. We've seen JXT superstars like the Jebediah come out and challenge him. It's an open field this Sunday at Eccentric Force.
I don't know who you could get to top that last one, Sills, but I bet it's going to be a doozy.
That is right, but one man who has yet to answer that open challenge despite wanting to for weeks is the man known as Hollywood Hulcher. I mean, a few weeks ago, he declared that he was going to answer that open challenge until this static played through the arena and blacked out the screen. And when it came back up, Hollywood Hulcher had been attacked. We all thought it was Houston Longhorn of the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. Next week, Hulcher challenged him to a match, and then the same static came out and distracted Hulcher once again. It seems somebody who has knowledge of our tech truck is interfering in Hollywood Hulcher's matches, and Tibbs, no one knows who it is.
I'm not sure either, Sills. We put cameras in. It doesn't look like anybody's infiltrated. It doesn't look like anybody's got in. I really can't tell who it is, which is why we've had to outsource a little investigation.
That's right. We have sent one of our top interviewers, Honeypot, backstage to the JWF men's locker room to search for some answers. So let's hear what Honeypot's found out.
Hello everybody, this is Honeypot McMahon in the streets, Demon in the sheets here, and I am in the JWF locker room. Today, I am searching for answers. Answers to the questions that have been on everybody's mind for the last few weeks. Who exactly has been going after Hollywood Hulcher? And right now I have with me Blake Tanner. Blake Tanner, your thoughts on this? Look, I know I've got a history with old Hollywood Hulcher. Me and him have fought the world across to the moon and back. But listen, Honeypot, that phase of my life is over. And I'm on to bigger and better things, like worrying about where the hell I am going to be at the pay-per-view this Sunday. You notice my name's not even on the card, didn't you see it? I mean, what the hell kind of shit show are you all planning out here if I'm not gonna be— Alright, let me just take this away and moving on. Looks like he doesn't know anything. War Wizard! Hello, do you have any idea who has been going after Hollywood Hulcher these last few weeks?
Why, of course not, young Honeypot.
I have even tried using my wizarding powers for weeks to discover the source of who is attacking young Master Hulcher. And it seems that everything I've tried has just come up empty. Perhaps this villainous individual has some sort of warding against my magical abilities.
Okay, well, it appears that we do know one thing. Whoever this is has powerful anti-magic capabilities. So, moving on, we have...
Whoa! Hey, Honeypot, baby, we got some infos for yous, big man.
Oh, yeah. We got some info on who's been attacking old Hollywood Hulcher, that guy, you know. Oh, bananas in pajamas. Yes, thank you for the scoop. Tell me, what do you know?
Oh, what we know is that we got a name.
You have the name of the perpetrator. Excellent. Could you tell me what it is?
Well, through our extensive research, we have discovered that his name is Deez.
Oh, it's D's. D's nuts! Got him! Oh, I can't believe that worked! I told you it was gonna work! Look at this fucking idiot!
Well, that was less than beneficial. Back to you in the studio, I suppose.
Well, Tibbs, I guess we didn't hire him for his investigative abilities, I'll tell you that right now.
No, Sills, that was, like Honeypot said, less than beneficial. I guess the mystery will remain just that for another week. Mystery.
That is right, Tibbs. But of course, who knows, we may find out this Sunday at Eccentric Force. But I think the one thing everybody wants to find out this Sunday is who's going to be coming out of that pay-per-view with the JWF World Heavyweight Championship over their shoulders. Will it be Scottye Moore? Will it be your son, Chuck Tibbs? I mean, let's be honest, Chuck in recent weeks, he's been a little bit too overzealous. He's kind of been, even Scottye Moore last week said that Chuck is a great fighter, but he doesn't understand the world of professional wrestling yet. Do you think this might play a factor into his match this Sunday?
You know, Sills, that's a hard question to ask because I'm wrestling with it myself. There are some things that Chuck will need to just learn the hard way, as it were. I could teach him all day, but sometimes experience is the best teacher, and I'm hoping that Chuck's experiences over the last week have taught him exactly who he needs to be when he gets in the ring at Eccentric Force.
That's right, it is going to be a clash of the titans when those two men go at it in that 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ match. But for right now, Chuck Tibbs is in this ring, and he looks a little bit emotional. Possibly what Scottye Moore said last week has gotten to him. Why don't we go down and hear what Chuck has to say ahead of his match this Sunday?
Scottye Moore stood out here last week, and he said I wasn't able to see all the angles. He said I wasn't prepared when I step in the ring for what happens if my plans go awry. He said that I wasn't ready to have this belt around my waist. And you know what? Scottye Moore, you're right. When I step in this ring, I don't think about someone coming and attacking me from behind. I think about the fight that's ahead of me. I think about what I'm seeing right in front of me. When I step in this ring, I don't think about things going wrong. I think about me and you in the ring together. At Cash in the Bag, when I came out and beat you for your title, I wasn't thinking about the weight that this championship holds. I was thinking about the fight. Because for 3 long years, that's all I had to carry me through this whole damn company. thinking about the fight. My fight to get better. My fight to outmatch my father's long-standing legacy. The fight to be someone this company would be proud to call their champion. So yeah, maybe I'm not prepared for everything that's gonna happen this Sunday. Maybe I'm not gonna be prepared for what happens during the rest of my title reign, no matter how long it is, but god damn it, I am gonna fight this Sunday! That's the promise that I give to each and every single person sitting out there in those seats. That's the promise I will give to everyone who tunes in this next week and listens to JWF Ignition. And that is the promise I gave to my father 5 months ago when he last visited me in the hospital. I promise you all that I will fight. I might not be perfect. I might fuck it up, and I may even lose on Sunday, but damn it, I won't stop fighting. Tooth and nail, white knuckles to my hands, nose to the grindstone. Chuck Tibbs promises you he will never stop fighting. And Scottye Moore, this Sunday, I'm gonna bring the fight of a lifetime to you. I am gonna do everything in my power to keep this belt around my waist, and I am gonna beat you not once, but twice! Scottye, you may think that you have every trick in the book, everything right there up your sleeve, every weapon at ringside, and the mind of a veteran wrestler. But what you don't have is the passion and the grit to stand back up after getting your damn ass kicked for years on end. I spent so much of my career losing every single step of the way, and I never gave up, and I never backed down. And I damn sure ain't gonna give up this Sunday, Scottye Moore. I am going to bring every single trick in the Chuck Tibbs book and right down on your shoulders. And I will fight.
Well, Tibbs, your voice sounds fired up, and it sounds like we are going to have one hell of a fight waiting for us this Sunday at Eccentric Force when Chuck Tibbs faces off against Scottye Moore. 2 out of 3 falls, and Cap Tibbs, I have no idea what's going through your mind right now, but I got to assume you got to stay pretty proud of your boy right now.
You're damn skippy, Silks. That was what I wanted to see in that ring. That was what I was hoping would come out, because you know what? Even I spent the last few weeks worrying about it. I couldn't stop thinking, hoping that my son would find the right path, but damn it, he's always been following it, Sills. He's always been on his own path, the Chuck Tibbs path, and it might not be the Captain Tibbs path, but it's gonna be his, and it's gonna be something to see.
That is right, and in addition to that, we are going to see our Captain's Champion, the Dylan, issuing an open challenge. We are going to see the JWF's first ever ladder war as the War Wizards face off against the Blockbusters. We are going to see an epic nautical rules match as Guy Fieri takes on Mamoa Curry, and then we are also going to see some men who have had some bad blood boiling between them. Bananas in Pajamas, some men we heard from earlier tonight, taking on the team of the Rising Suns, the team of FOMO-san, and of course a man that I know you're a big fan of, the Hammerman. I mean, those 4 men, they've had some vitriol, some bad blood brewing, and it's got to boil over this Sunday at Eccentric Force, Tibbs.
Sills, we've got a massive card planned. We're gonna have fights that you'll never see again. It's gonna be amazing.
That is right, Tibbs, but until then, remember to support the JWF. Donate to our Patreon. Patreon.com/AloadofBS supports our mother network, the BS Network, and you get exclusive content like sneak peeks of older episodes of JWF Monday Night War. We sent Scottye Moore and Blake Tanner to commentate over them, and my God, Tibbs, some of them are pretty rough to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly terrible, Sills. Can't believe that was ever us.
That is right, Tibbs. Or if you want to support us, Just pick up some merch for your favorite JWF superstars online at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Click in the JWF section and you'll find stuff for a Captain Tibbs poster. The Hammerman has a shirt. Tons of amazing stuff waiting for you at merch.aloadofpurebs.com.
Get a poster with my face on it.
That is right, but until next time, he's been Captain Tibbs. I've been Silver Spoon. This has been JWF Ignition, and we will see you